again, this is where the awareness, and that's why I'm really pushing that, like showing these vulnerabilities and talking about this. And when asked about that, and you're going out and say your first step is to enumerate all your AI services here. Like, but now you have to start doing that classic vendor analysis. Like that has to be like a lot more up in front with these Gen AI services. And then on that note, the question that needs to be asked is, what are you monitoring? Right? Because if they're not monitoring this stuff, you can also assume that they kind of are like just underwater with trying to do all the other engineering stuff. And it's kind of a red flag because if they understand the security concerns, if they understand everything that's going on with it, they know they need to have monitoring in place of these systems going forward. A good reference, look at the EU AI Act. They did some really good work. They have some really good tooling out there right now that help guide people of like how they should follow things. And one big thing that came out of that act that I assume is going to get adopted by everyone is that AI for critical infrastructure, which is broad in their definition, is going to need explainability, transparency, and monitoring of it. So if you go again, your consumer those services, you go to them like, yeah, I want some more transparency, I want some explainability, and they have a hard time getting you that information. It means it's not on their, it's not a priority, it's not on their radar. Doing that, it's kind of like a red flag for us, right? So.
I would just add that just again, the non-title, but if you're not doing this right now, any investors that are looking at making investment in startups and they are going to be checking this, right? To make sure that so like they're doing themselves a disservice not to really build a strong foundation from the ground up because again, and I've heard of a number of startups that lost large funding rounds because they didn't have things in place. So the investors are getting a lot smarter, which I think is kind of a really important lever on this to ensure this happens with a lot of our startups.